Welcome to the light and love that is Unity of Lawrence on Zoom. I'm really excited to be here with you this Mother's Day weekend, and I'm really excited about hearing our speaker talk about the mothering experience for all of us. So in Unity, we begin everything with prayer. So let us join Prayer Chaplain Karen as we begin our service by opening to that divine presence we know is within each and every one of us.
Good morning. Let's just start with taking in a few deep breaths. Breathing in and releasing. Breathing in and releasing and centering down into that heart space. Oh, sweet Spirit, we know that you are around us and in us and as us and through us. We give thanks that we can celebrate the spirit of mothering and the spirit of nurturing that we, all of us, share, that each of us have within us. We nurture one another. We nurture the small beings of this earth. We nurture ourselves. Breathing in and breathing out. We gather together to celebrate and to know that the sweet spirit is within each of us and that we support one another on this journey of life, this spiritual journey, and this journey through the maze of many things, and always knowing that that sweet spirit is within us. Centering now, we are open to the message, we are open to the music, and we are grateful. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Karen. So now let's join Holly in singing You Are Welcome Here by John Stringer.
Good morning, welcome to Unity. Feel free to sing with me on the choruses. There is a space in my heart where I can find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself, where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allow and unfold. Embrace and let go. Trust in the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we're stronger than we'll ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Love is
Such a beautiful song. And we're all about welcoming people in, aren't we? You are welcome here, and all your friends and family. So now for our intentions, please affirm with me Unity's founding principles. There is only one God, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God, the source of all good. Now, our Unity vision statement: united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And finally, our mission statement: we are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And now I'm excited to hear music once again from Cecilia St King. She is an international touring and recording artist known as the Inner Peace Troubadour. We all need that. After running from the towers of the World Trade Center and discovering cancer in her throat 6 months later, she spent time in a monastery in New Zealand called Shambhala, studying the ageless wisdom teachings, blending philosophy and melody. She has dedicated her life and her music to being a voice for peace. She has been touring across the US for the past 18 years, performing concerts for inner peace in such diverse venues as the United Nations, the Parliament of the World's Religions, San Quentin Prison, the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville, the Bitter End in New York City, amongst countless others. Her work has been recognized by the United Nations, the M.K. Gandhi Institute for Nonviolence, and the National Peace Academy. Let's all welcome Cecilia St. King.
Good morning, Unity of Lawrence. Thank you so much for having me on this auspicious Mother's Day. I'm honored to be joining you once again. Thank you, Holly Taylor, for the invitation, and thank you, Reverend Amy, for allowing me to do the music that kind of blends with your talk this morning on mutual mothering and envisioning unity in our community. I thought that I would start with a little song that would be a little bit upbeat because we all need to turn on our light, right? And that's a good way to have some unity in our community when we are all shining our light as bright as we can. You all can join me with this song. All you have to do is sing the words, "Turn on your light." Okay, here we go. Well, I can see you are amazing. Well, I can feel it deep in my bones. You're so dang awesome. Don't you doubt it. Come on now. Sing with me this song. Turn on your light that shines on your soul. Turn on your light that makes you feel so whole. Turn on your light that turns wrong to right. Turn on your light that makes you feel right. Turn on your light that puts you in the mood. Turn on your light that makes you wanna groove. Turn on your light for all the world to see. Well, you've played those blues for all these years, especially this last one. Hard luck, blood, sweat, and tears. Well, now it's time. No need to hesitate. Come on now. Turn on your light and let's celebrate. Turn on your light. Turn on your light that shines on your soul. Turn on your light that makes you feel so whole. Turn on your light that turns wrong to right. Turn on your light that makes you feel right. Turn on your light that puts you in the mood. Turn on your light that makes you wanna groove. Turn on your light for all the world to see. Well, a new day has just begun. Yeah, get out there, have some fun. Well, hallelujah, the grace of God is coming through you. Turn on your light and let's celebrate. Turn on your light. Turn on your light that shines on your soul. Turn on your light that makes you feel so whole. Turn on your light that turns wrong to right. Turn on your light that makes you feel alright. Turn on your light that puts you in the mood. Turn on your light that makes you wanna groove. Turn on your light for all the world to see. Turn it on again. Come on. Turn on your light that shines on your soul. Turn on your light that makes you feel so whole. Turn on your light that turns wrong to right. Turn on your light that makes you feel alright. Turn on your light that puts you in the mood. Turn on your light that makes you wanna groove. Turn on your light for all the world to see. Turn on your light for all the world to see. Oh, yeah. Turn on your light.
Well, what a lovely song. And it's so perfect that it comes right before Amy is going to turn on her light for us. I'm so excited. My cat's really frisky today, so he's harassing all my stuff around my table here. Hopefully he'll quit. So Amy Tankersley is a Unity of Lawrence board member and has been attending Unity since they moved here in 2018. She's a certified life coach, yoga teacher, and clinical research professional, and holds degrees in psychology, political science, and gerontology. She's got a lot of lights. She is passionate about social justice and is facilitating the Unity of Lawrence Social Justice Book Club. Her favorite things include dance parties, learning about embodiment and social change, and being with her twins, Matthew and Karina. Welcome, Amy. I can't wait to see your light shine.
Thank you, Cheryl. I'm happy to be here today in a different capacity than usual. And I found it funny that Cecilia called me Reverend Amy, because I am not a reverend, but I have been accused by friends and family of being preachy. So maybe it fits. But today, now that we're feeling our light, I want to take us into a short meditation to get grounded and to be with what is in our bodies today, because it is Mother's Day. And while Mother's Day may be celebratory and joyous for some, it may also be filled with grief, loss, confusion, frustration, a recognition that maybe we didn't get everything that we needed from our own mothers, but that we're perhaps getting it from each other here today. So let's take a deep breath. If you're able, any breath is really okay. Invite the breath into your body. And say to yourself, I am the light and I am supported. And as Holly said, we are all welcome here. And that includes all of our feelings that we're having. And we're welcoming them, noticing them. And we don't have to go deep into what we're feeling today, but we can just say, I see you. I feel you. I hear you. And if you go beneath those feelings, you can feel that part of you that is still. All of the feelings can still be there. The confusion, the sadness, the grief, the joy. They can all be there while you are still, while your light is shining. There's space for all of it. Continue to notice your breath. have some gratitude for your body, for all that it holds, for all that it creates space for. And there is space for all of it today. And bring all of it here. Don't have to turn away from parts of yourself or parts of your story in order to embrace yourself, your light. And affirm to yourself, I am supported, I am held, the ground holds me, this chair holds me. And so it is. Okay, I hope you're feeling grounded. As we've made space for all of it, for all that shows up today, both for our lights and for the parts that maybe are more complicated and confusing. I'll start by telling you a little bit about my journey as a mother, because it really, it has a lot to do with this community. And I know that some of you know this, but not all of you know this, what a big part of my journey since I moved to Kansas Unity has been. So when we moved here in 2018, my husband and I separated. And we lived together for 11 years and our twins were 4 years old. And so I did what any recently separated mother would do. I panicked. Definitely panicked. When we initially decided to move to Kansas, my mom lived in Missouri. And so I thought that what it would look like is that we would see her a lot. And a month before we moved here, she unexpectedly moved to Palm Desert, California. And so I was left with a sense of loss, not only from the loss of my marriage, but also community. I needed people. I needed support. My children needed support, and they needed me to be able to be there for them. And I knew that the narratives that were told about mothers, that mothers is a very individualistic enterprise, that we're supposed to do it all, work full time, take care of the kids. During the pandemic, we were also supposed to homeschool while working, and that doesn't go so well, I learned, because while you're working and you're on a Zoom meeting, your kids will pop in. Even if, yes, they're independent, they will still show up on your Zoom meetings. And there's just so much that's expected of mothers that I feel like is not reasonable. And the idea that a mother is only someone who has her own biological children or their own biological children, I really felt to be false. It's not true. I was mothered by grandmothers. And it's such a nurturing and deep experience to be mothered in community. I was very fortunate, and I'll show you a picture of my grandmothers in a moment. And I think what motherhood has been reduced to is often materialistic too. I was watching a movie last night, and there was a commercial that summed it up. It said, "This is how mom shines." And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, how does she shine? And then it said, with 30% off store-wide at Zales. Okay, so she needs a diamond to shine, is that it? And I didn't love that. And but I think it really summed up like what we're dealing with culturally, and the materialism and the soullessness often. Anne Lamont recently wrote that my main gripe about Mother's Day is that it feels incomplete and imprecise. The main thing that ever helped mothers was other people mothering them, including aunties and brothers, a chain of mothering that keeps the whole shebang afloat. And so what I needed was the whole shebang. What I really wanted and needed when we moved here was the whole shebang. And that is really what led me to the Unity of Lawrence. I knew we needed this community. And I want to show some pictures, because when I was thinking about what does mothering look like, some things came up. And I think pictures often speak louder than words. So community, commune means belonging to all, and unity is the state of being one. So we know that. We know that. We know that we're all one. We know that we're connected. But what comes into our mind and into our consciousness when we think about being a mother and what that looks like? And I showed June Cleaver, because yes, I wasn't born until 1979, but my grandma and I watched the show all the time as a kid. And still, when I think about what a good mother looks like, she pops into my head. I don't know if that's true for others of you too, but it's there, it's in my consciousness. And then here's what I heard last night. I got my style from my mom, 30% off at Zales. So these are some of the cultural narratives, what we're seeing. And I had to go deeper. I had to ask, what does mothering mean to me? What does it look like? And I'll show you. This is a 5 generations photo. So you have my great-great-grandmother over there on the left. You have my mother and my grandfather in the back. And then I am next to my grandma Corina, my great-grandma Corina, who my daughter is named after. And so I was raised in community. And I was telling Cheryl and Kathy that my mom was more like my sister. We were close in age. We were only 19 years apart. And she taught me a lot. I would say she's one of my master teachers. I get my love of dance parties from her. But she couldn't do it alone. She's 19. She was just beginning her own journey. I was so fortunate to have this community, these grandmothers. My great-great-grandmother babysat me. She was 80 when I was born, and she rocked me every day. She watched me every day. And my great-grandma helped. And here is me with my grandmother. That's my mother's mother. And in many ways, I think of her as my mother. And on Mother's Day, I had a rough day yesterday because I was really missing her. She was one of those people, she always knew what to do and what to say. And often she didn't say that much. And she was just very good at being with you and holding you wherever you were at. And I always went to her for comfort and care because of that. She had advice, but mostly what she brought was a calm and comforting presence to my life. What else does mothering look like? Here's some elephants. So these elephants are surrounding a mother who's giving birth and protecting her. And you see that the whole community, including young elephants, are surrounding the mother giving birth. Elephants also take care of their old and their sick. They're very empathetic and communal creatures. I think we have a lot to learn from them. And probably asking, why are you showing us a picture of a stump? Right here, you'll see that there's a tree stump with the little trees on the side, and I don't even know what they're called. But if you notice above the stump, you see a light. The kids and I spent a lot of time sitting on that stump last summer and talking to it. And we realized that she was still alive. And I read some about trees, and even when a tree dies, often the surrounding trees will care for it and nurture it underneath. They'll give it nutrients. So just because it's not perfect, it's been cut down, it's been damaged or destroyed, we may see that when we look at it, but there are networks of support underneath. And in turn, it's still offering support to the life around it. Trees are also excellent communicators. And they have slow nervous systems, which is one of the reasons that being in nature really helps us connect to ourselves and slow down. They have much slower nervous systems than we do. So if you're feeling frenzied, something that you can do to calm your nervous system is to be around a tree. And this is a cell. This is a picture of a cell done by NASA. And if you haven't seen this before, and even if you have, take a look at it. That is a cell. That is a cell in the human body. I have such a sense of wonder and awe at this, because if you look at all the parts of the cell, they're all different. They're different colors, they have different functions, they're complex, they're intricate. They all work together as a whole to keep us alive, to keep us functioning. And the beauty and the complexity of that, a cell is a community. I really like to look at that picture. So the question here is, the question we can ask ourselves and get curious about is how do we become the cell? How do we, and we already are. But sometimes we don't feel like it. We feel isolated. What we are really in need of is soul care. And soul care goes so much further than self-care. Soul care includes caring for the whole. So whole care is soul care. And part of soul care is turning towards what we did at the beginning here, is we turn towards our suffering. We turn towards the feelings that we're having, even if they're not what we want to show up today on Mother's Day. When what we've been through a lot, and so when trauma, like a pandemic, is a collective experience, the healing must be communal as well. And I'm going to read a quote by Bell Hooks. In undertaking a spiritual life, what matters is simple. We must make certain our path is connected with our heart, which is part of soul care. In beginning a genuine spiritual journey, we have to stay much closer to home, to focus directly on what is right here in front of us, to make sure that our path is connected with our deepest love. When we begin to experience the sacred in our everyday lives, we bring to mundane tasks a quality of concentration and engagement that lifts the spirit. We recognize divine spirit everywhere, everywhere. This is especially true when we face difficulties. So many people turn to spiritual thinking only when they experience difficulties, hoping that the sorrow or pain will just miraculously disappear. Usually they find that the place of suffering, the place where we are broken in spirit when accepted and embraced, is also a place of peace and possibility. So peace and possibility in our suffering. And I think that is the place where we want to go. We want to go beyond the suffering, not beyond it, but embracing it, including it, and to the peace that is in us, who we are, that we see in nature, that we see the harmony that we see in the cell. What are some things we can do? how can we engage in compassionate action? And I remember that Jana said, she was saying that we get really frozen because we don't know what we should do to be there for ourselves and each other. And I really liked what she said when she said, we lift a finger. We lift a finger. So what does that look like? It looks like trying new things, thinking in new ways, expanding perspective. A lot of our thinking in our culture is either or thinking. It has to be this or that. When the reality is that most of what exists in nature and in our bodies is built on reciprocal relationship and always the both and. You don't see polarities in nature. You just see, there's a lot of gray area there. It's murky, it's complex, it's not simple, it's nuanced. So one thing that we can do is expand our thinking beyond the binary. We can meet new people, cultivate curiosity, listen with an open mind to other people's experiences. And when I came to Lawrence and I was trying to figure out who I was as a mother, what's interesting is that I really got involved in social justice. And I like Cornel West's definition of justice, which is loving in public. So how do we love each other in public? And part of that is acknowledging that we don't know. Like, I didn't know what it looks like to be in community. I just really got very lucky because I was mothered the moment I walked into the door at Unity back in 2018. And the first soul that I really connected with here in Lawrence was our very own Jay Pryor. And since then, I've received a lot of mothering from Jay and this community, from Cheryl, from Kathy, and I could keep listing names. I didn't know when I walked in the doors that they were going to show up. I didn't know. I didn't know that 2.5 years later, I would still consider them my greatest spiritual teachers, some of my greatest spiritual teachers. And if you think about this and you think about a lot of the times who we are to each other, we don't know, we don't understand. Sometimes just showing up fully as who we are means more to somebody else than we realize. A lot of the people who have supported me and saved me didn't know it. They were just showing up, being themselves. Find it really fascinating. So we have 4 major categories of tissue in the human body: epithelium, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. And each one of these tissues is responsible for some highly specialized contribution to maintain the activities in our body. Each tissue has an assigned task that contributes to the welfare of the whole. And what is that assigned task? The task is being itself, being more of itself, and performing its function. It's being itself. It's not doing anything special other than what it is meant to do. It's not doing too much. It's not doing the most. Something else we can keep in mind as we're going through this journey, and you see in the body, and you see it with trees, talked about it with that stump, is reciprocity. And what does reciprocity mean? Both giving and receiving. I've seen it defined as a balance between giving and receiving. I think a lot of us fall into the trap of overgiving because we're trained that way. We're trained to give and give and give and give to the point that we're exhausted. What would it feel like to receive? Receiving is just as important as giving. And when you receive, you also are giving to the person who is giving to you. And when I came here as being an overgiver, like my grandmother, I realized that I needed to receive. And when your system is stressed, when you're sick or in pain, or you've had some difficulties during a pandemic, some of us, myself included, were dealing with joblessness. Sometimes the best thing that we can do to contribute to the whole is receive, is to let others support us, because we can't do it all ourselves, and we can't give and give and give until we're empty. So receiving is such an important part of mothering. We can also create. So when we relate together, when we create together, we relate together. So creating is relating, and we do that. Holly and the music that she creates, the art we create and share, all of that contributes to the welfare of the whole. How do we expand our own capacity? So we know that we're infinite beings, we're multidimensional, one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. And Sherman Newland states in The Wisdom of the Body that the human body is the best picture of the human soul. I think there's sometimes, because our bodies often carry pain, it's the best picture of the human soul. We want to transcend it sometimes, though. It's part of us. It's part of it. Our cerebral circuits in our brain and their neuroendocrine functions keep us searching for new ways to deal with the world and find new ways to respond that are supportive of us and other beings. So our brains are wired for transformation and connection. Sometimes being part of the whole looks like, again, being more of who you are and lifting that finger and moving in that direction. We can take time with each other to connect to our bodies with practices that harmonize our bodies together. For example, we can sing together, which we did today. I love Cecilia's song, wonderful. I love Holly's song, where we welcome it all. So we can sing together, we can drum together, we can hum together. Find that common vibration, that vibration that's underneath it all. We can recognize that we are sacred and we are communal, and that is who we are. So really, when we're envisioning how we're going to mother each other, when we're envisioning how we're going to move forward, we're already doing it. We're already living in a body that knows how to do it. We have nature to look to. What we are envisioning may not be here on this earth right now and in our lives right now as we want it to be, but we know what it feels like. And I think if we know what it feels like to be part of a whole, to be connected, if we know what it truly feels like, then we can create it. If we can feel it, we can create it. We can feel it together to heal together. And we can't rush the process. It takes as long as it takes. We can't avoid the parts of it that don't look perfect. And we turn towards each other in appreciation of our stories, where we've been. Perhaps mothering is so much more than what we have lived through to this point, but we can live forward into a future that includes everybody just by showing up as the light that we are. Let's take a moment to get grounded again, thinking about how we've held others and how we've been held. and how we want to be held and how we want to hold others going forward. Go ahead and close your eyes if you'd like, or soften your eyes. And I'm going to go ahead and take you through a practice that's in a book called My Grandmother's Hands by Resma Minikin. Let's start by getting curious again about what's going on in your body, what's coming up with you today. Really being with it, welcoming it. And think of a person, a place, an animal. Mothering also includes mothering animals, pets. That makes you feel safe and secure. And for me, it's that tree stump that we sat on outside last summer. Imagine feeling really safe, held, supported when you're near that person or when you're with that tree. And while holding on to that feeling, again, notice what else is floating around for you today. And maybe you go back to that grief, and perhaps now you can hold it a little bit more than you could 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago. Because you know that you are the light. You're feeling safe and supported, and it is okay. What you're feeling is okay. Our grief is natural and normal. And feeling it is how we grow. Moving through it is how we create. Feeling your heart beating. Now, as we come back into the room, let's do a practice together. And this is one of the body practices in the book, My Grandmother's Hands. And rub your belly. Actually, let's rub our collarbones together. If you want to, you don't have to. This is one way to come back into our bodies, to harmonize bodies. One of the suggestions was rubbing your collarbone or rubbing your belly. And I really love body practices like this. And before we move on to our music, let's hum together to feel that vibration. And even if you're not hearing other people hum, just knowing that we're humming together. Take a breath in and hum. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you for mothering me and being part of my community and our community. And I love you all. Happy Mother's Day.
This is for all the mothers out there. It's called She Reads Between the Lines. Sitting down at the mirror to put on her makeup, she reflects for a moment. Slowly she smiles, for there on her face is a life full of memories. Staring back at her, written by time. The deep one was from the birth of her babies, when pain and joy and love became one. The brow line light as she reads between the lines. She likes what she sees tonight as she reads between the lines.
Gosh. I don't know if anybody else is feeling really lucky, but I'm feeling so lucky that Unity is so darn cool. Amy, your presentation was fabulous. I loved it. This is a time for us all to show our appreciation to Unity, a time of thanks and offering. And I just want to remind us all that this is our community. We have gone through the pandemic. We have pivoted. We've done all kinds of things to keep this energy going. With a building and without a minister, and we are a democracy, and we are doing incredible stuff, and we do it together. I loved what Amy talked about, soul care and receiving. In Unity, we receive soul care, we receive community, we create together. We've been creating this beautiful Unity community. I just feel really grateful. Anyway, if you feel grateful too, I invite you to go online to share your gifts with this community. You can go via PayPal or send a check to Unity, and holding your gifts in your hands, let's affirm together: divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And as you're going online to PayPal or writing a check, let's hear some beautiful music. I Am One with the Heart of the Mother by Michael Stillwell, and Holly is going to be sharing that with us.
Remember, this has two parts that we can do at the same time. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. Ave Maria, Kyrie eleison. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God.
I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. And so we are at one with each other and in community. We are grateful. Grateful for those who give of their time and their talents, and grateful for those who give of their treasure. And we all are a treasure, each unique individual here today or joining us later, you are a treasure. And we give thanks that we can be supported and that we can be supportive of one another, nurturing one another throughout every day of the year. Every day of the year is a day to let the nurturer, the mother, the father in you, to love and support one another and to be supported. And we give thanks that as a community we can do that. Thank you, God. Amen.
Reverend Amy asks this question: what does it look like to belong to each other, to heal in relationships while staying grounded in our truths? Unity is a state of being one with all that is. This is called everything. Well, I am in the snowfall. I am in the mountain top. In the breath that you take when you wake first thing in the morning. I am in your baby smile, in that old man's sigh, in the bum on the corner bumming for her next dollar with the worn out eyes. But can you feel it? Don't you know I'm in everything? In the rain I fall, the snail that crawls, everything. Everywhere you look, you can see. Just look in the mirror and you'll see me. Well, I am in the hand that you're holding, in the man you are fighting, in the face of your neighbor. Doesn't matter if he's yellow, red, brown, or white. I am in the moon as it's rising, in the stars that are shining, in the sun that is warming the earth while it's spinning, suspended in the sky. How about that? But can you feel it? Don't you know I'm in everything? And there are clouds forming, roses blooming, everything. Everywhere you look, you can see. Just look in the mirror and you'll see me. Well, I am in the tears that you cry, in the darkest night, when you're searching for the answer, only left with a question, still wondering why. I am in everyone you know, I'm in everyone you meet, because the truth is I am in you and you're in me. How about that, y'all? But can you feel it? Don't you know I'm in everything? In the whale, in the sparrow, everything. Everywhere you look, you can see. Just look in the mirror and you'll see me. Can you feel it? Don't you know I'm in everything? In your mother's laugh, your father's hands, everything. Everywhere you look, you can see. Just look in the mirror and you'll see me. For the glory of love is in everything. Yeah, the glory of God is in everything.
Beautiful, beautiful music. I've so enjoyed listening to Cecilia's music today. So now it's time for announcements, and join us today. We're actually going to get together in the parking lot of Unity, and for those of you who don't know where that is, it's 900 Madeline Lane in Lawrence, Kansas, for an outdoor gathering. It's we're celebrating second Sunday that we get together at 1 o'clock. So bring a lawn chair and a warm coat and be prepared for conversation and laughter. Masks are optional because we're outside. So we gather whenever the temperature is 50 degrees or above, and it's just barely there today. And when it isn't raining, it's just barely not raining, so it's perfect. Everyone is invited, old members, new friends included. See you soon. Bring a friend. And the second announcement, there's just so many good things going on at Unity. I'm so looking forward to listening to Jay Pryor, our very own Jay Pryor, next week, bringing the message, Becoming an Unbeliever. Interested to know what that's all about with the music from Harmony Level. The good just keeps coming, doesn't it? And now let's bless the youth and ourselves by rubbing our hands together and saying with me, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divinity in you. And now let's sing the peace song with Holly and Bradford.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God our Creator. Children all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's say the prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is swell. And we invite our speaker and others to stay on the line just for a few minutes to talk and connect and just tell Amy what a great job she did and to appreciate each other and loving in public, as she talked about. Let's love in public during the breakout session and during our meet and greet at Unity parking lot.